order for the motor to move.
Foundation. This is a program that is aired on Human Rights Radio and Television 101.1 FM, the station that redefines broadcasting. My name is Mariam Mbaka, and I hope you had a lovely weekend. Yes, I'm not the only one in the studio as usual. This is a program that is specifically about electricity. What you need to know about electricity, how you need to engage yourself with your various distribution company, what you need to know about the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, everything that has to do with electricity. Yes, we discuss it in this program, and I have a special guest here with me by name.
My name is Bridget Etim from the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission.
Okay, welcome, Mrs. Bridget Etim. So she has always been here, always on this program to enlighten us about electricity. And don't forget, she's not working with any disco. She's not working with NAC, but she's working with the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. Welcome once more, ma'am.
Thank you, and it's always a pleasure for me to be here.
All right, thank you. So today we are going to discuss on something very important which you need to know. And on our topic, we're going to talk about service standard timeline. That's what we're going to talk about. Service standard timeline. When we're talking about service standard, what do you mean? So for every organization, your benchmark that defines the quality of your services, your product and your services, is your service standard. And then your timeline means the expected time every customer wants his or her product or services delivered, and that's what we call performance excellence. So if you have an organization, you have an institution, and you want to ensure a quality service standard timeline, you must make sure that the quality of service you're giving is top-notch. The quality of service you're giving is what is expected by the organization, and the timeline for your delivery is very important. So with regards to electricity, this is what we're going to talk about today. And Mrs. Bridget Etim is going to put us through on service standard timeline. You're welcome once more, ma'am.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Mariam.
Thank you.
Actually explained what we want consumers to know regarding the service standard timelines. You know, sometimes last year when the Customer Protection Regulation 20, that's Electricity Customer Protection Regulation 2023, you know, was reviewed by the direct sector regulator, which is the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. We also talked about some of these service standards, but, you know, for us, everything we do regarding electricity, we believe that is something that is continuous. And when we talk about even educating consumers, it's something that is supposed to be a lifetime thing, because every day we keep getting new consumers. You know, every year some people keep, and not even some people, we keep getting children are born every day, and then people move from teenage life to adult life, you know. So at the point, some people are not responsible for doing certain things they might not really know. So, and that's why, even for you, that it is only when you die, actually, that you stop, you know, learning or stop educating yourself on issues. And that's why what the Commission actually set out to achieve is to empower consumers, especially with respect to this program, electricity consumers. We want you to be empowered so that you'll be able to demand and insist on your rights, so that you'll be able to engage with the service providers at every given point. So, like Zainab earlier mentioned, we want to look at the service standard timelines today, and there are different timelines for standards. For example, where there is no electricity supply to your premises as electricity consumers, the service standard timeline is expected to be, the response time is supposed to be within 24 hours, you know, where there is no electricity supply to your premises. And then the distribution company should be able to provide you details within 24 hours why you don't have electricity supply. And most of the time, these are some of the challenges, and we know consumers usually bring to our knowledge to say that, oh, they don't have electricity supply and the distribution company did not even deem it fit to reach out to them. And even, I'm telling you, sometimes even when the consumers reach out to them, they are unable to provide any concrete answer or concrete response to them. But based on the provision, it is expected that the distribution company will tell you the reason why there's no supply. But thankfully, I used to get, even from my estate, most of the time now, the facility manager will always even inform us that, oh, they reach out to the distribution company and they have told them exactly what the problem is, the reason why we're not having supply. The only thing is that sometimes, even when you're not having supply, they're supposed to even tell you the estimated time of the return of supply.
And even back in the days, when there's going to be shortage of supply, there's always an information notice that you're not going to have lights.
All of these standards, actually, they are even there.
Okay.
So it is expected that the distribution company will be able to make, we've talked about this on this platform. One of the thing or the issue that is critical is providing information, communicating with your customers or consumers, at every given time. Why there is crisis, why there is misunderstanding, is lack of having a conversation. At every given time, the consumer who is paying for these services should be able to know. Because remember that we say that without consumers, these businesses will be nowhere.
Definitely.
So, and that's why the distribution company is expected to provide information at every given point. The distribution company is expected to communicate with their customers or consumers in this instance. Okay, so where no electricity supply, it is expected that the distribution company will respond within 24 hours and provide the reason why there's no electricity supply. And then when there's an issue of suppliers' fuels fail, it is expected that it will be restored. That when there is a fuse, let's understand, if there's an issue of the supplier's fuel, that's the distribution company's fuse.
Okay.
It is expected that they should restore supply within 24 hours. Supplier's fuels fail. Supply is expected to be restored within 24 hours. It's not the one that the distribution company will be requesting money from the consumer. These are the kind of issues we hear. It is expected that they will do a restoration of supply within 24 hours where the supplier's fuels fail. And then with minor faults, it's expected that the distribution company will also restore supply within 24 hours. Minor faults. And then other faults, it is expected that the distribution company will restore supply within 48 hours. Other faults, these are things that are beyond what is minor faults. And I think that there is no hard and fast rule. Even consumers sometimes will just come and say, oh, they said it's just this thing, no. You understand? Because if for us as consumers, we know the one that is difficult. We know the one that is not minor.
Exactly.
So the minor ones, actually, the restoration of supply is expected within 24 hours. Then this one is not even a major. You understand? So that we don't really, they just say order. So other fault is expected that the supply is expected. So even if it is whether major inside the order, do you understand? That will be
within the minor.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is expected within 48 hours, the restoration. So providing supply with meter. Providing supply with meter within 10 working days of request. If you remember that all new connection, when it comes to your electricity consumer rights, for new connection, it is expected that the connection will strictly be done based on metering. If you build a new house today, it is expected that you are not going to have your supply based on estimated. You are not going to be placed on direct connection, whatever name is being given to it. If you build a new house today, it is expected that that new house will strictly be connected with supply of electricity based on metering. And that's why, and under metering, most of the time the distribution company will tell you that you will have to pay for your meter. And if you are buying your meter, you are accessing your meter through meter asset providers, it is expected that this meter will be fixed into your premises or brought into your premises within 10 working days of payment.
Okay.
We usually, even based on the regulation, the distribution company is not expected to collect or receive money from you for payments of meter if there are no meters on ground. The distribution company can only advise you to pay for meters when they have meters on ground, so that the connection and installation will be done within 10 working days. Because I'm stressing this because these are complaints that usually come to the knowledge of the commission. I know the kind of intervention the commission had to provide when it comes to metering. And the distribution company is being advised here not to accept money or advise consumers to make payments if they know that there are no meters on ground.
In a situation whereby the disc fail to provide us with, what happens?
There are consequences to that. Even under this new customer protection regulation, there are a lot of consequences to not even adhering to rules and regulation. I don't specifically have the one for metering, but I know that there are certain consequences that goes with that. These are regulations, But for us as a commission, what we try to do is, if a consumer bring a complaint of making payments of meter that has not been installed, we immediately order that meter should be installed immediately. Because when a consumer pays, to start with, meters, even when consumers pay for these meters, they still belong to the distribution company, and that's why there's even a process of reimbursement. We talked about this. There was a time I even told you that for consumers who have even paid for meters, some of the distribution companies have even started reimbursing the consumers who keyed into meter asset providers. Abuja, I'm not sure whether they have started their reimbursement processes, but I'm sure of just electricity distribution company that has been reimbursing consumers who paid for meters. And so we understand the reimbursement is done through credits. The distribution company gives you credits if you vend, so you get some credits in addition to what you purchase as part of your reimbursement.
Okay, so the meter comes with a credit.
No.
What you're purchasing?
No. Okay, no, yeah. Sometimes it used to come with credits.
Okay.
That's a different kettle of fish we're talking about. What I'm talking about is for consumers who paid for meters. The meters are even the properties of the electricity distribution companies.
Yes.
So because of gap and then the issue of funding and what have you, and as and a form of intervention was done by some agreements the distribution company have with certain persons, certain companies to provide these meters.
Okay.
And when they provide these meters, the consumers will be the ones to pay. And when consumers pay for these meters, it is expected that there will be a refund of such meters through credit, and that's the reimbursement process.
Okay.
That it is expected. Like I mentioned to you, I said some companies, I don't have the list of the companies who have started, but the one I'm very, very sure, because I have witnessed it during one of our intervention program, is just electricity distribution company, that even consumers testified to us that they were getting reimbursement of the meters they paid. And we told consumers that consumers should even keep tabs of the kind of credits they get, so that in the end, the consumers will be able to say that, they have reimbursed them the total of the amount that they have they invested in the meters. Okay? So when it comes to also notice of planned supply interruption, that was what you were talking earlier.
Yes.
It is expected that a minimum of 3 working days notice will be given to electricity consumers. This is to enable the electricity consumers to plan and have alternative electricity supply measures. And even, for example, if you give somebody the opportunity, consumer will be able to know that I don't need to stock, for example, my refrigerator at this particular time because there's going to be an interruption of supply so that I don't incur losses. Or you understand, it will enable the consumer to plan, not the one that the consumer will just stay without any information and then there's no supply of electricity. And the consumer has stocked his or her refrigerator and then things start getting bad and then the distribution company is nowhere even to provide any form of, help or to help concerning the products or the consumables that have been damaged. We have received such complaints, So this is very important for us to say it, so to state it again, so that even the distribution company will know that they have a duty to adhere to these service standard timelines.
Okay.
And consumers too can begin to demand certain things that as electricity consumers that the distribution company owe you a duty of informing you about their planned supply interruption, so that you too will know. We keep telling these service providers, that's the discourse in this instance, that they must be able to communicate with their customers, with the consumers at all times. Okay, so if there are voltage complaints, this is another area too that consumers have also suffered. It is expected that the distribution company will visit within 24 hours of reports. High voltage, sometimes even low voltage. There are instances whereby you have, sometimes some consumers have even experienced fire out, serious,
And even damaging their gadgets and properties. Yes.
And even some people have some houses were even burned. With a lot of accidents affecting cause injuries. So it is expected that within reports of voltage complaints, the distribution company will visit that location, that premises, within 24 hours. And it is expected that substantive reply is provided within 5 working days of visit by the distribution company. Okay. Reconnection of supply after disconnection due to non-payment. We have also we've received such complaints from consumers, where a consumer is owing the distribution company and the consumer has paid this debt, and the distribution company will now be taking their time before they will come and reconnect the consumer. The distribution company does not waste time when the consumer does not make payments. The way it happens now, the kind of complaints that we even receive, at the commission is such that consumers will complain that the distribution company just disconnected as they brought bill. They came and disconnected them. So it is expected that when the consumers also have made payment or have paid their debts, the reconnection is supposed to be 24 hours of payment of amount due or entering into payment agreements with DISCO. Consumers also have the right to payment plan, so that when the distribution company has entered into an agreement for a payment plan, the distribution company is expected to also come, and that means that the consumer, for example, if the consumer is owing the distribution company, let's say 10,000 naira, and the consumer has agreed to be paying 1,000 naira, that will be for 10 months, and the consumer has paid 1,000, has kept his or her part of the agreement. It is expected that the distribution company will come and reconnect the consumer within 24 hours. It is applicable to consumers who have paid their entire debt, and then the consumers who have entered into a payment plan. It's very important the distribution company to adhere to these rules and these service standards timelines. Is important. So reposition of meter service standards. It is expected that the distribution company will visit within 5 working days of reconfiguration of wiring at the connection points. It is very, very important.
So what does that mean?
Okay, that it means that when the distribution company wants, if a consumer wants a repositioning, you know, sometimes there are instances whereby even the consumer, as a result of one thing or the other, they want the meter to be repositioned. You understand? That's what it means. So it is expected that the distribution company will respond within 5 working days. So this one is very important. The meter, this one is responding to faults with prepayment meters. If the distribution company has a duty to respond to the consumer within 24 hours when a report of a faulty meter is made. And this one is something that I also have to pause and also talk about.
Exactly.
Because when it comes to faulty meter, a lot of complaints have arisen from this. Even as I'm talking to you, I think there was a complaint that was even brought to the commission recently about a faulty meter. Most of the time, the distribution company will just come and place the consumer on as if they are waiting for that without adhering to rules and regulation. One thing we should know is that once a consumer is metered, that consumer remains metered forever, irrespective of whatever must have happened. Do you understand? Okay. Whatever it is that must have happened, the consumer will remain a metered consumer. And how do you do it? If, for example, the consumer meter is faulty, the regulation provides that the meter issues should be addressed. You know, this one I was talking about when the consumer complains, the response time, when it comes to the service standard, the distribution company is supposed to visit the premises within 24 hours. But when it comes to the establishing a fault on the meter, it is expected that the distribution company will fix the meter or replace the meter within 48 hours. That's within 2 days. If the distribution company cannot or will not be able to replace the meter within 48 hours, it is expected that the distribution company will take the previous average consumption of the customer, and that will be what the consumer will be paying, pending when the distribution company is able to replace the meter. I give you an example. If, for example, the consumer vents 10,000 naira monthly, and then let's do a 3 months average consumption. That will be, 30,000 divided by 3, which will be 10,000. So it is expected that the consumer will be paying 10,000 naira, pending when the distribution company is able to replace the meter. I know we used to have complaints from consumers. These are, consumers have really suffered. That I can attest to. You can imagine a consumer who, from the beginning, is the one who even acquired a meter. Maybe the consumer, accessed the meter through map, and then the meter becomes faulty. And then the distribution company will now come and tell the consumer, okay, the consumer should pay another meter. And this is a consumer that has not even gotten reimbursement. So
on the previous one.
Yes. So we're saying this so that the distribution company too will know. If a consumer, because we cannot continue to add burdens on consumers.
Exactly.
Yes. So in this instance, the distribution company is the one that has the responsibility of replacing that meter. Because if we understand that from in the beginning, there was a time that even the federal government provided an intervention where there was national mass metering. At that national mass metering, consumers didn't have to pay because the cost of metering is added to the supply of electricity that comes into our houses.
Okay.
You understand? And that's why at any given time, the distribution company, because it's even the property of the distribution company to start with. So this is very key. It's not to add any burden, and that's why the regulation even has simplified it, that if there is a fault, what the distribution company should do is, if the distribution company feels that it's being cheated, let them do anything, because they are the ones into business. They even have more money than the consumer.
Yes.
Let them do whatever it is that they know how to do to ensure that they replace the meter for the consumer, not to come and tell the consumer to come and buy another meter when you have not even reimbursed him. So that's why I said I needed to pause, so that I will talk about the issue of that metering,
All right, thank you very much. At this point in time, we're going to pause so that we can get your own comments, your views, observations, and also any complaints you have with regards to today's topic on service standard timeline. So the number to call if you want to join us on today's conversation at FCCPC Hour is 090 57 07 8416. The number to call if you want to join us is 090 57 07 8416. So please, when you call us, turn down the volume of your radio. It's very important, okay? Or step away from your radio set so there won't be any interruption. And don't forget, our program is live. So you can check our program via YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. All right, we have our first caller here, so let's hear what our first caller has to say. Hello, good afternoon, or it's afternoon now. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Welcome to FCCPC Hour. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from
Please step away from your radio, sir. Yes, step away from your radio. Sorry, sir. You're still close to your radio. Kindly step away from your radio. Yes.
Okay. How is it now?
Okay, it's fair. Please kindly step away from your radio.
I want to collect it, and they said there's no meter yet.
Okay.
Now,
What's your name again, sir?
The problem I'm having now is that I don't have the complete money to pay for the meter. How can I do it?
Okay, first of all, what is your name again, sir? Okay, what's your name again, sir?
My name is Shehu Musa.
Shehu Musa, you're calling us from where?
I'm calling from Suleja.
From Suleja, okay. So you said you applied for a meter, right?
I applied for it about 6 years now.
6 years?
Of the payment.
Okay, have you paid the money completely for the meter?
I've not paid for the meter because they said they are putting it on the ground.
Okay.
So, every time when I got money, when I go take it, I should hold it.
Okay.
So I don't know, maybe if the meter is available now, can I pay, and how can I get it?
Have you asked your provider, your disco, if the meter is available?
Somebody told me that there is meter on ground. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. So please hold on for Mrs. Bridget.
Okay, Mr. Musa, I think, earlier on when we talked, we said that the discos, earlier on when we started this program, we said the discos are not allowed to receive or collect money from you if they know that there is no meter on ground. That means they were doing the right thing. But be that as it may, maybe you need to speak with us after this program so that we can help you to find out whether they have meters or not. And if they have meters, we'll be able to link you up so that you pay for your meter and get your meter. Okay? Because this is federal competition. Yes, this is FCCPC, Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. It's not AADC directly.
I should call back this number.
Yes, you can call back. Oh, I could give you our official line right away so that you can even send a message so that by the time I get back to the office, we'll be able to find out. Or you can, if you call through this number too, we will respond to you.
Or you give me the direct number so that I please.
Okay.
This number is
Okay. The number is 081 19.
No, 19.
19.
Yes, 87 77 85. Are you with us?
Let me call the number.
Yes, please call the number.
81.
Okay.
19.
Okay.
87.
Okay.
77.
Yes.
85.
85. Yes. Thank you very
That's
much.
our electricity dedicated phone number. You can send us WhatsApp, you can send us SMS, or you can call. If you call now, there's an officer that will pick, and then we'll be able to find out. You can just send us WhatsApp. Actually, it will be better so that when I get back, I will be able to find out for you.
Let me send down the
All right.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
don't know. So now it was a message.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Shiu.
How much is meter now?
He's asking how much is meter.
I don't work for the distribution company. I don't exactly know how much a meter costs.
You can get that information from your various disco, okay? All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Shiu, for joining us on the program, FCCPC Hour. There was something he said, Mrs. Bridget. He said then when he had the money to purchase the meter, they were telling him that the meter was not available. But now that the meter is available, he doesn't have the complete money. So what is he going to do about it? So is he allowed to pay half and then, pay in installments? I don't know.
Instrumental payment.
Yes.
Incidentally, these are questions I still cannot answer. All I know is that you are expected to make a full payment when it comes to this meter asset providers.
Okay.
But it's something we can actually verify
Okay.
after the program.
Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, welcome to FCCPC Hour. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm Innocent. I'm calling from Kurudu.
All right, welcome, Mr. Innocent. Please go ahead.
Yes, I was privileged, I think last year around July,
Okay.
I got a new meter. In the new house, I have not connected even a single wire in the house before. I went to my unit, the unit in charge of me at Kurudu. They came to inspect the new building. Before approving for the meter, they inspect the new building that was not connected at all. So the meter came, I think after 2 weeks I applied, the meter came. Within 1 month, I installed, they came themselves and installed the meter, and it came with a token of, I think, 40 units or so. I needed to top up the token. I went for a top up only to discover that new meter they installed for me had a depth of almost 200 and something thousand naira in it. There is nothing I did for them to wipe that debt that I did not do. Up till this moment, as I'm speaking with you, I am paying a debt of almost, I have outstanding of a debt of almost 280 something thousand naira in a new meter, a new house.
Wow.
Okay, Mr. I didn't quite get your name.
Innocent.
Innocent.
Okay, Mr. Innocent, I think that since you have, had a conversation and then you have complained with to the distribution company without any solution, it's high time for you to escalate your matter to the FCCPC so that the commission will provide intervention on your behalf. But you need to come with all the details and all the information that will be able to help us to provide this intervention. Your evidence, in a nutshell, that's what I'm talking about. The evidence of the application, so that the commission will provide intervention. You may visit our office, which is located at number 23 Jimmy Carter Street at Sokoro, so that you file in your complaint. Or better still, you may send us a complaint using our email address, which is contact@fccpc.gov.ng. So whichever you choose to do, the commission will be available to provide, a redress on your behalf.
Okay, I think it will be better I come to your office.
Okay, if you come to the office, you can even ask after Bridget Etim, and then I could attend to you.
It's okay, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Innocent, for calling.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right. Okay, this is quite amazing. Or it's surprising that you purchase a new meter and then there's a debt of over 200,000 naira. Anyway, we're going to talk about that. Let's take this one quickly. Hello, good afternoon.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Welcome to FCCPC Hour.
My name is Charles.
Okay, Charles, you're calling us from where?
Okay, I just wanted to make an inquiry.
Okay.
Because you were talking about if customers procuring meter, they are supposed to be reimbursed. How is the process like?
Okay, yes, because like I mentioned earlier, the meter you purchase is not actually supposed to be your responsibility. There is which that's why we're asking, where are you calling us from, so that we even understand.
I'm actually calling from this around around the opposite Mokoba, they call the place Saburi.
Okay.
Okay, Sabri.
Yes, I'm not.
Okay.
Did you actually purchase a meter?
No, see, that's what I want to explain to you.
Okay.
When I moved into the place, I started on estimated billing.
Okay.
So when there was that government intervention for free meters, I applied, I didn't get. So over a while, I saw that I was tired of paying for darkness, so I wrote them a letter and cut off my light because the light was epileptic, and then the current was low. I complained, they refused to listen to us, so I wrote them a letter and said they should just take me off the grid. So right now, I want to confirm if I'm to buy a meter, and you said the meter is a responsibility of the company, because we are so surprised that how will a company, you suffer, you are going to wire your house, you buy, you collect from the pole, and then when it just comes, they don't come and start taking, they come and start charging for bills without letting you know what to do. So now I inquire if I'm to get a meter, is it my responsibility or their responsibility, or then I'll find a way how I can apply to get back my refund from them.
Okay, no.
I want to know.
The reimbursement process is actually automatic when it commences. Like I said earlier, with John's Electricity Distribution Company, they have started reimbursing customers that have keyed into meter asset providers. The reimbursement comes in monthly. When you buy, when you vend, then they will give you part of what you have paid for. It is supposed, do you understand? They will be giving you the credit until all the money you have invested in purchasing a meter, is exhausted. That's the way it works. And the reimbursement process, yes, it's supposed to be for 36 months. 36 months. It's automatic for anybody who has keyed into meter asset providers. So, but for Abuja, do you understand?
Yes, I get you.
For Abuja, I am not sure whether they have started reimbursing customers, but it's something I could find out. So there are two ways, like I told you earlier. It was, you said that you wanted to get a meter during the national mass metering, but you didn't succeed. And I agree with you. Now that you told them to disconnect you, which you wrote them, and you have to really shine your eyes very well at the time you want to get connection back, so that you will not get bills of electricity that you did not enjoy. Okay?
Yes, because although from the point at which I wrote them, I have the last bill. Because I wrote them and I had to get an acknowledgement copy from them, letting them know that they should disconnect me. So I have the acknowledgement copy I gave to the officer that signed, that who received it and stamped on it. So from there, so I know whenever time I'm going to reconnect, I will know where it stopped from. Because I was being charged, normally I'm off the house in the morning, I come back in the evening, me and my wife, we work, so we're all off in the I'm off in the morning, I come back in the evening. Then when you come back to look for light, you have to on generator to pump water, to iron, to microwave, other things. And then when in the morning they come and give you a bill of 14,000, 15,000 when you don't use it. It's only when maybe probably they want to start collecting they will start collecting and giving out bills, but you will maybe like 3 days straight in a row towards the end of the month. So they can be able to recoup the money. So I said I'm no longer interested in that pattern because since I'm not always around.
No, that's okay. That's fine. So you don't have any problem. Whatever it is that you have chosen to do, you can do, but just keep all those details very, very well so that you won't have any
once I'm
problem.
reconnecting back.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir, for calling. Yes, I think this is an ardent follower of our program, FCCPC, because he knows everything. In fact, from the letters he has written to them, collection of the acknowledgement copy, keeping tab to everything. Okay, let's take this one quickly. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to FCCPC Hour. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Thank you. My name is Morgan.
Your name is what?
Morgan.
Okay, sir. Sorry, it seems like your network is breaking. Your line is breaking.
My name is Morgan.
Okay, Morgan, you're calling us from where?
I'm calling from Bede.
Okay, Mr. Morgan, what's your contribution?
Yeah, I paid for me about 2 months now.
Mr. Morgan, please, could you get a place where your network will be, better, or you call us back?
Or you can send us WhatsApp or SMS.
Or you send us WhatsApp or SMS on this line. Okay, Mr. Morgan, sorry, we don't want to waste your time, and then we also don't want to waste our airtime because we can't hear you, all right? So I don't know if you have any message. Can we check if there's... okay, let's take this one. It seems the calls are coming in. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to Fccpc Hour. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Nasarawa.
Nasarawa, your name is what?
My name is
Oh, sorry, sir. We can't hear you. Your network is breaking. Your line is breaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's fair.
I say my name is Abba.
Okay, I can only hear Audu.
Okay, Abba. Can you hear me well?
Okay, Abba Audu. Okay, please go ahead.
Yes. I sent a ticket which was used in Kano.
Mr. Abba,
My house was for this
Mr. Abba, Mr. Abba, I don't know if you can hear us, but your line is breaking. So we want to get your information. Could you please send us an SMS
Or WhatsApp?
or WhatsApp? If you can quickly type it, we just have few minutes.
I can hear you very well.
Okay, we can't hear you because your network is breaking. So please kindly send us SMS. Okay, we just have few more minutes to wrap up today's program. So let's just take few messages that we have here before we call it a day. Yes. Don't forget, you can tune in to your TV station, okay? Or you can watch us live on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at FCCPC Hour. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
My name is James.
Okay, Mr. James, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Utako here, but I'm living at Ejua.
Okay, what's your complaint or contribution?
Yeah, the meter in my house for over 2 years. When I load card inside, it will not receive the token. So, and as a result, that 2 years, I have not been using that meter NEPA light there. And I've the ones that complain and nobody answered me. Eventually, this year, I went to OT Carpet, and I was told that I should go to Jiwa. I went to Jiwa to go and complain. The chairman, they said they will come, they didn't come. But it was later, I went to my office, they now called me, that never came to my place and cut off my service cable from my house without my consent. And that meter, I pay for it. I have my receipt of the payment. So when the landlord came and checked the meter, he said the meter is faulty. And I thought I should come and pay money about 130,000 naira for another one. And that meter, I pay for it. I have my receipt. So what should I do?
Okay, hold on for Mrs. Bridget.
Okay, I think you need to visit the office. You need to visit our office to also escalate this complaint to the commission. Like I said earlier, our office is located at number 23 Jimmy Carter Street at Sokoro. Or if you don't have time to visit our office, you can send us an email using contact@fccpc.gov.ng. Or if you want to visit our website to file in your complaint, our website is www.fccpc.gov.ng. Okay?
Okay, please, ma'am, can you kindly repeat the number of the number that is your office number at Asokoro? I would like to visit there.
Okay, the office address is number 23 Jimmy Carter Street at Sokoro. Number 23 Jimmy Carter Street at Sokoro. So, and we have an electricity dedicated phone number. You can also call for further, to make further inquiries, or if you want description, is 081.
Okay, 081
19 87 77 85. Yes, please.
All right, man. I would like to come to that your office at Asokoro because it's really bothering me. For over 2 years, I have not even used NEPA light, and I've been using my generator, and I have told them I don't want something that will bring problem for me. I don't want to do any bypass.
No problem. Just come with.
People that came to me that they want to connect for me, I refuse them because I don't want anything that will bring problem for me.
Okay, just come with all your evidence and documents to file in your complaint, Mr. James.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. James, for calling. Okay, let's take the last call before we call it a day. Okay, so don't forget to call us on 090 57 07 8416. So this is the last call you are taking. Hello, good afternoon. Afternoon, welcome to FCCPC Hour. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Calling you from Abuja.
Your name is?
Hello.
Yes, your name. What's your name, please?
My name is Mohammed.
Okay, Mohammed, could you be audible, please? What's your complaint or contribution? Okay, I think we've lost Mohammed, all right? So, and that's the last call we can take.
Okay.
Yes, let's check if we have messages before you call out the number again. And
Okay, let me see.
all other platforms, they can get in touch with FCCPC to file in their complaints.
Okay, a call is coming in and it's
Okay.
just trying to affect the reading.
The reading of the message. Okay, I think we're not going to take the call. Let's just have to decline it.
Just read.
Okay, this one says, good day. I replaced my old meter with a prepaid one, and at that time, my debt was 46,000 naira, which was billed into the prepaid. However, 3 years after usage of my prepaid meter, my debt rose to 250,000 naira despite my debt being deducted for every recharge I did within 3 years. What do you advise, Mr. Sonny from Ado, Nasarawa State?
Okay, that was the consumer we couldn't listen to.
Okay.
Okay, so I think because of lack of time, I'm going to personally respond to your complaint. Your complaint is actually also subject to investigation. I would also like you to maybe appropriately file in your complaints with the commission so that the commission will provide a holistic solution and redress your concerns. And for us to continue with this conversation, you can do so using our dedicated electricity phone number, which is 081 1987 7785. 081 1987 7785. And remember, you can send us WhatsApp or email us, or you can also visit our website to file in your complaint. Like I mentioned earlier, our email address is contact@fccpc.gov.ng, and our website again is www.fccpc.gov.ng. Our electricity dedicated phone number again is 081 1987 7785, so that we can continue with the conversation. And for those of you who send us SMS on the number that was earlier announced, we are also going to respond to you and also provide further guidance on your complaints.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Bridget, for coming on today's show and giving us information about service standard timeline. I hope you know what service standard timeline means and what your discos are supposed to do when you have issues with electricity. Please do not forget that when you have problem with your electricity, try to engage your discos. And when we say engage your discos, we're talking about writing to them officially. At first, you can go by word of mouth to talk to them. And if you don't get any response from them, the next thing to do is write to them officially and have it documented. And make sure that as you write to them, someone is there to receive it, to acknowledge it in case you want to go back. Someone is there to do that, because if you send in your letters without getting any acknowledgements copied, then it's as good as you not doing anything. So make sure that whenever you have a complaint and you want to, take up your matter to your various discos, write it officially and have them acknowledge every single letter or document you have sent to them in case you need to escalate it to the Fccpc Hour. Okay? So this is why we are here for you. And this is why this program is here for you, so that if you have anything, any problems or anything you observe with your electricity, please kindly visit the FCCPC. Thank you very much for joining us. Still will come your way next week, same time, same station. My name is Mariam Mbaka, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.